gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laugh. Hey, how could you lie to my face? People claim that they be loyal, they be taking up space. See my broski lose his heart when he was fighting that case. Took so many yells, I'm not going back to those days.
We are just across the Allegheny River from downtown Pittsburgh at rain-soaked Heinz Field in the Steel City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Two weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go, fellas.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. That often runs you into a penalty.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. This a give to Mack running to the right. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. They still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
11 yards there, first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Watch safety three. Watch safety.
Now Brissett. Flush to his right. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's second down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. On first down, right back to Lindsay. And he'll be brought down. That's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The penalty moves them into the red zone here on 1st and 10.
Watch twins. Watch twins.
A give running right is Mack. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football.
Pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown. Marlon Mack, his third touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
What she say, bullshit? What she say, bullshit too? Tip, I'm telling Tip, Gray, go cook. Tip looking at me crazy.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. That's going to set him back 5 yards. Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Nigga act like he was a big time drug. He had that mid problem.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
It wasn't 3 years ago, though.
On third and long, it's Wentz. Looking deep for Julio. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down the score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Go over and lay down. Get your ass over there. You know what I mean when I say go lay down. Not gonna lay on the pillow right there. Lay down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
That's crazy.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Under 10.
Now a give, right side. Mack, nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And now look at this, big game, fumble.
Sweat that nigga, trying to be sweet.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with, a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
On 2nd and 9, Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. And he loses the football a 2nd time. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
You got tight. You got tight right there.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Philip Lindsey, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. On my drive chart, I write successful drives in blue, and so far for them, 4 first-half drives, 4 touchdowns. It's all blue, no red.
What did they see on film? What did they see on tape that led them to have this type of a game plan, this type of execution? They're reading them like they're a true open book.
Oh, my goodness. In every facet, too. And then on the other side, I mean, it's domination right now offensively.
Yeah, they're going to need one player to make a monster play to try and stop this tide.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 11 yards there, 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
You got motion there right here. Watch 57's run. Watch the run, watch the run. Watch the run.
Throwing on 2nd down. Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat.
Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6. 50 seconds to Mike. Watch the slip. Watch the slip. Win. 82.
From the gun on third down, Wentz into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on third and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
I'm coming after you. Cover.
They'll run on first down. It's Lindsey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On second down, a run with Lindsey. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
On 3rd down, here's Lindsey. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try and be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Just like that. Just like that.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz, he's going to rifle one deep left side. Oh, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. On first down, Wentz. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Motion. 57. Mike, 57. Hey, me and you on 2-2.
Now Wentz again. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
82-14.
Now Wentz on third down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. They do go for it. It's Wentz. He's going to loft one deep left side. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On third down, Lindsey.